Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to give you a quick status of where we currently are in the quarter. As you know, we've moved on from the classical period of public administration to look at the neoclassical period. And one of the things I guess that's important here to consider is some of the themes that are evident in the neoclassical period. It seems as if this period, and I know that you'll agree as you read on, seems as if it's less stringent upon determining what public administration is. There seem to be less rules that say this is public administration, whereas this isn't. Overall, one of the major themes of the neoclassical period, and even a common theme going forward, is that the law of the situation kind of guides what public administrators do. And this really gets into the idea of discretion, because as you know, we deal with the public, and there is no one set formula to answer questions or to address issues. So depending on the circumstance or the situation, we'll act accordingly. And the theorists, for the most part, during the neoclassical period and definitely in later periods, abide by this law of the situation. So next, well, right now we're emerging into this area, and I think you'll find it a little less pedantic and probably more interesting in some respects. Although, reading the classical theorists such as Weber and Wilson and Taylor really lay the groundwork for our complete understanding of public administration as we go forward. Now, I'd also like to discuss the essay number 1, your first essay, and overall I thought your essays were very, very good. Very impressed with your conceptualization of public administration and the dichotomy between politics and administration, and discussing some of the salient points that the authors raise in their rationale or reasoning for why politics and administration should be separated. You also identified very good benefits to this particular idea, and although we hadn't necessarily gone over the last component of the question entirely, where I want to ask you, what were some of the reasons why the theorists moved away, later theorists moved away from this. I think your answers were generally very, very spot on, and I could tell that you had done some outside research for answering that particular question. And even just thinking about, why would administrators move away from that particular line of thinking, I think it's something that inherently you can consider on your own. But I was impressed with the ways in which you answered that part of the question. Additionally, one of the reasons why I have students complete these essays, obviously it's a good way to make sure that you understand the material because you have to write on it. But another reason is that these essays are designed, or the essay questions are designed as if they were a comprehensive exam question. So I want to make sure that you get as much practice as possible, especially early on in your program here, in writing comprehensive exam responses to comprehensive exam questions, because although these won't be the actual questions, it's a similar style to what you would be forced to respond to. So I think it's a good practice and a good exercise. One thing to keep in mind, though, with your essays is that they must be completed using APA-style formatting. So that means that you must include works cited area, not necessarily a page, but you must include your references that you've used. And in many cases for these essays, they will be the articles or the essays from the classics book. So make sure that you're comfortable writing or citing in-text edited versions for your essays here. And if you do have any questions, you can always go to the Purdue OWL website, which will give you assistance there. But overall, I was very pleased with the essays, and I think that going forward, I just want you to continue to think critically about the questions that you're being asked and the assumptions that are being made by some of the theorists there. Indeed, the grading, I think, was fairly lenient for the first essay, and I just want you to get a feel for, writing again if you've been out of the loop for a little bit. Going forward, imagine the grading will be a little bit more stringent, so just keep that in mind as you go forward. But again, I think you did a very good job in this first essay. Also, thanks for the feedback on the Blackboard Collaborate class or session that I want to hold. I think it'll be beneficial in general for all who want to attend, and thanks for letting me know convenient times that are suitable for you all. One other thing to keep in mind in terms of the Blackboard Collaborate class is that the session can be taped. So in the event that you're not able to be there in person, or at least synchronously, I will tape the session and make it available. So questions that are asked, if you're not able to attend, you'll at least be able to hear the answers to those questions and get a clear understanding on things that are going on this quarter. And finally, as you know, my office hours are 10:30 to 12:30 Tuesdays and Thursdays, and while admittedly that's not necessarily the most convenient time for you all, especially those who are working and aren't necessarily in this area, please feel free to not only email me any questions you have, but also if you need to give me a call and it's even outside of those office hours, let me know an appropriate time that we can talk. Send me an email and let me know when you'd like to set up a phone meeting, and I'll get back to you so we can do that as well. Alright, so overall, very good. Keep in mind that your critical assignment is due tonight by midnight, and then your second essay is also due Sunday by midnight. Alright, thank you.